you're jumping on, I am live streaming on two places on my TikTok account and um, my YouTube channel. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Happy Monday. I am actually, TikTok is, I just went live on TikTok too. I'm live on my MacBook Pro on YouTube, and I'm live on my phone, my iPhone on TikTok. I have software now that actually allows you to stream in more than one place at once. Good morning, Marina. Good morning, Emperor. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been here live streaming every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Actually, it's over a month now. And I've just been sharing some things and different topics. Somebody the other day asked me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did. I also talked about email marketing, because if you're using social media and you're not using email marketing and you're just sending people to a page and you're not collecting their email address, you're probably going to have a really hard time if you're trying to make money, to make any money, to get people to follow you. You want to send people to a website or a capture page where you can get the person's email address, get them on your email list, and preferably give them away something for free. Um, Depending on what you're doing, if you're promoting something else that somebody else owns, you can ask them if they have something you can give away, or you can easily make a PDF. It's not that hard. I have a free PDF talking about a blueprint I'm using, that when people go to my website, payudaily.com, they get an email from me. There's some videos there to watch. They get an email from me with the PDF. It's a clickable link in the email that they can download it and save it to the computer. And I strongly suggest that if you're trying to use social media and you're trying to build an audience, no matter, if you've got a message, a mission, something you're supporting, you got an offline business, an online business, and if you're using social media to send people to a website or a capture page, because if you're just sending them to a page with information, you've only had that one opportunity to talk to them, and then after that, they're gone. And I spent the whole first year I tried to do this. That's what I did. I bought a website. They sent me a 3-page PDF, how to set up pay-per-click ads, which I had no idea what I was doing. I was setting up pay-per-click ads and sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do, or you never want to send people to a sales page, because you only have one opportunity to talk to them. I did that for a year. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads, and I didn't make any money. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have the proper training. I didn't have a proven system. And if you don't have any of those things, and the mentor's so important, you probably do the same thing I did, and I can save you a year and $3,000. And pay-per-click ads work, but in some of this, they're skills you have to master. They're high income skills that you can learn like in 2 weeks. And then to get good at something, you have to do it every day. When I say every day, that's 7 days a week. And I titled this today, Being Consistent, because if you're trying to use social media and you're trying to build an audience and you don't show up every day, and I do mean 7 days a week, you'll never get anybody to follow you. They'll go find somebody else who does show up every single day, because they want to know that you're going to be there. And they can easily just go find somebody that does show up every single day. And most of the people I talk to, the truth is they're not consistent, and they're not getting the results that they want. They're not making the money that they want. And there's over 5 billion people on social media that you can tap into, and you can get exposure for whatever you're doing, and you can do it for free. You don't need to do paid advertising. You can, but you may end up spending a lot of money and not get any return on your money. And I got a mentor. I got involved with a program where I have a mentor training. I have a proven system. We've built a community. We've got almost 55,000 people now that has taught me the right way to use social media, how to build an email list. And if you're just trying to wing it, you don't want to do that. And I was basically winging it when I started. I didn't know anyone. I literally went to Google. I searched make money online. I bought a website. There was no training, no mentorship. They sent me a 3-page PDF sending some sites of how to set up pay-per-click ads. And I ended up spending $3,000 and not making any money. Good morning, Seabreeze. Good morning, Craft. Good morning, Zakiko. what is that what people call you? Good morning, Pat. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, user 5842. I'd appreciate it if you're on my TikTok account, if you'd like the video, I'd really appreciate that. If you're on my YouTube channel to like it, that'll help my account, my channel out. I would greatly appreciate that. Good morning, Jumping Jack. Good morning, Clark. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Ruth, um, which is along the Northeast. I'm not that far from New York. Where are you coming in from? Would love to know why you're on social media. Tell me something you like. Drop in the comments. Getting a bunch of users on here. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Black Boy. Good morning, Goodman. Happy Monday. Thank you for the gift badge, Goodman. I appreciate it. If you could like my video, I'd really appreciate it. I'm doing these every day. If you have a question or there's something you're trying to figure out that you haven't been able to figure out, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I'd be glad to do a training on one of these. I did one. Somebody asked me last week to do one on social media marketing, which I did. If I've done it, thank you, Debbie, for liking the video. I appreciate it. If it's something I've done it and I've made money with it and I know how to do it, I'd be glad to do a training. I don't think I have had some people ask me to do things that I don't do. I don't think it's ethical to teach or train on that. I can, most likely, if I haven't done it, I can give you a resource. I had somebody that jumped on my live on YouTube last week that wanted to learn about CPA marketing. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Jimmy. And I know what it is. I know how it works, but I've never done it or made money with it. And I told him I just don't think it's ethical that I train on it. But I gave him some resources because there's plenty of other people out there that have done that. That there's probably a course, and there's a number of websites. I gave him some websites that he can go to and look for a course on that. Because if he's really serious and he wants to learn. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Gerald. If you're jumping on Good Morning, Roddy, let me know where you're coming in from. Would love to know why you're on social media. And it's funny. Good morning, Tom. Most people don't comment to that, why you're on social media. And there's got to be some reason you're on here. Now, I did have a guy say to me once that he was just bored and he decided to jump on TikTok. That's cool, but I'm not on TikTok or YouTube or any social media platform because I'm bored. I have a business that I've learned online marketing and how to make money from home, working 2 hours a day. I lost my job and I couldn't find another one. I was spending 2 to 3 hours a day commuting, and there is no way that I missed that. And that was all highway driving. And if there was anything else going on, sorry, TikTok Prince. I invite people on here because stop sending me that, please. And if you keep sending me that, then I'll block you. I invite people on here because I know them, or there's something that they can share that I think might be valuable. But if you're just jumping on, have no clue who you are, and then you're wanting me to invite you to come on because you're probably trying. I've got a video that's going viral on my TikTok account, and then you get people that come spam all over it. You don't want to spam anybody's thing. It's not cool. You never want to send anybody a link to something. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Laura. If you're jumping on, thank you for the Blissful Nomad. Thank you for the gift badge. I appreciate that. You could like my video. I'd really appreciate it, whether you're on my TikTok account or YouTube. Today I was just going to talk about being consistent, because if you're trying to use social media, how many of you are on here that you're trying to use social media for something? You got a message. You got a cause, you're supporting a company, you have an online business, and you're trying to get exposure for it. How many people are on here trying to do something like that and use social media? Because if you don't know the right way to use social media, most people, I can go to their accounts and they don't even have their social media profile set up correctly. Good morning, Mr. Ving. Good morning, Tommy. Good morning, Mr. Wayne. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Shannon. Good morning, Pat. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this actually be 14 years in September. I haven't worked a job in over 9, and I'm following a blueprint that I can work 2 hours a day, because when I get off this live in about an hour, I'm done for the day, and I got stuff that I'm going to go do. Good morning, Jean. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Melody. Good morning, Wisdom. What do people call you? Good morning, B. Sharon. Good morning, Cece Summers. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Joan. I'd love to know where you're coming in from, why you're on social media. Good morning, Jean. Because the thing with TikTok, I can see people jumping on and off. On YouTube, however, it just gives me a number of people that are on. So if you're on my YouTube channel and you don't comment, I don't know who's there. And I think people like really get into this because they can just jump on and off. They don't have to do anything. And it's much different. I mean, I've been on both ends. I've jumped on plenty of people's lives. But when you're doing a live, you're the one that's at, broadcasting out, and you're being broadcast. Everybody can see you. It's video marketing's yes to what? I'm not sure what your Ed do, and I'm not even going to try your name. Yes, I'm not sure what you're saying yes to. But there's some reason most of you are on. Good morning, Bianca. Good morning, Robert. There's some reason you guys are on social media. For you're looking for something. Now, I did have a guy that jumped on and said he was bored and he just wanted to get on TikTok, and that's cool. But that's not what I'm here. And I believe most of the people that are jumping on my lives, you have some reason you're here. Most people, when I say that, why are you on social media? Most people don't answer, and I don't know if you're just kind of checking things out. And I tell anybody or students, and I knew when I first started this, you don't think people are watching you. I'm telling you, they are. People want to know, and I titled this morning, being consistent, because if you're trying to use social media and you're not consistent and you don't show up every day, and when I say every day, I mean 7 days a week. I mean, this isn't a job. This isn't a 9-to-5 job where you get nights, weekends, and holidays off. You'll never get anyone to follow you. And most people I talk to, they're not consistent. I can go over and look at their social media account, and TikTok gives you the dates and say, well, you posted on Monday and then you haven't done anything for like 10 days. Nobody will ever follow you. They'll go find somebody else who does show up. And it's like somebody has an offline business. They have a shop and they put in their window or their door. Their hours are Monday through Saturday, say 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you say you're going to be there, that your store is going to be open, and you decide on a Wednesday you don't feel like opening the store, and then you have people come and they're wanting to look at something or talk to you, and you're not there. They'll go find somebody else. I mean, you said you were going to be there, and if you're consistently there, for months or years, and then something happens one day, or you have a death in the family, you can certainly put that up that, you had a death in the family. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. He had a tailor shop. And I remember when my grandmother died, he put a sign on his door, death in the family, closed. And, he closed his shop for a couple of days. But if you're trying to use social media and you're not showing up every single day, you'll never get anybody to follow you. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Connie. Good morning, Joker76. What do people call you? Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning, Fish2423. What do people call you? That's probably just your handle, and people don't call you that. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this for actually be 14 years in September. I haven't worked a job in over 9, and I have a blueprint I follow that I work 2 hours a day. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. If you're new, there will be work involved on your part to get to that. And if you're learning anything new, this is a high income skill, what I'm doing, that you can learn in 2 hours. We've got almost 55,000 people in our group, and many people, they were doing something else and they wanted to make more money, or they lost a job like I did and they were looking for another way to make money. And this has an answer. It's digital marketing. I make 100% profit. I work 2 hours a day following a proven blueprint that my mentor has used to make $7 million in less than 3 years. And we got plenty of other people. I'm not the only person in our group making money with this. But if you plug in, you're coachable, you're consistent. And that's what I was talking about this morning, being consistent. And you implement what you learn and you do the work, because anybody you see that's making money, they did the work. You can get this down to 2 hours a day, but there's work involved. Good morning, Kimmy. Good morning, Lil. I don't know if that's Lil or what do people call you. Good morning, Felicia. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. If you could please give my video a like, whether you're on my TikTok account or on my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. That would help my channel out. Been here every day. Actually, it's over a month now. I've been doing these at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a question, there's something you need help with, or you're trying to figure out, you can drop in the comments. I have done a couple trainings. I did have somebody ask me to do a training about using social media marketing, which I did on one of these, because you're on, although none of you are, good morning, Digital Diva. If you're jumping on, like, good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Maya. Good morning, Libel May. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. And most of you are on social media for a reason. It's funny whenever I say that, well, why are you on social media? Like, almost nobody comments. I think people like these live streams because you can get on, and especially on YouTube, nobody will even know you're on unless you comment. You can get on, nobody knows that you're on. That's kind of funny, on social media where there's over 5 billion people, and there's people that, like, they don't want to be seen for whatever reason, and I know people, they don't want people to see that they're on social media. I did a video about that. They don't want to know their family that they're on social media and they're trying to make money. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Gail. I'm not sure, what do people call you? Good morning, U.S. humans. That must be, what do people call you? That can't be what people call you. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, David. Good morning, TT. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm very close to New York. I'm in the Northeast Corridor. Well, we're probably going to get actually it's overcast today, some rain from the Hurricane Erin that's coming up. But we're not getting blasted. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Sal, Paul. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Today, if you're using social media, I was talking about being consistent, and a lot of you're on social media for a reason. You won't say it, and many of you're trying to figure out a way to make money from home, or maybe you have another business. You're trying to figure out how you can use social media to get exposure. But it doesn't matter why, if you're trying to use it, if you're not consistent and you don't show up every day. Thank you, Linda, for the rose. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gift badger. Somebody else who your name's not popping up, so I can't see it. Good morning, Wisdom. If you're jumping on, good morning. Ooh, I can't see that one either. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. But if you're using social media and you're not consistent, consistent, it's 7 days a week. If you just show up one day and you post one day, and then, you don't do anything for like a week, you're basically starting over again. People want to know you're going to show up. And and 7 days a week, if you don't, they're going to follow somebody else who does show up. And you may think nobody's watching you. I'm telling you, people are watching you. I used to think that when I first started that. And then I met somebody at an event. She said to me, I've been watching your videos for the last 3 years. I had no idea who she was, because when you don't identify yourself, that was her first identifying herself. Leave comments, or I can see people jumping on my TikTok account, but YouTube, I cannot. I can see how many people are on, but I can't see who it is. And unless you drop a comment. Good morning, Holly and Parker. Good morning, Vegas girl. What do people call you? If you're using social media and you're not being consistent, and you don't show up every day, 7 days a week, you'll never get anyone to follow you. They'll go find somebody else. People want to know you're going to show up, and you may not think anybody's watching you. I'm telling you, people are watching you. And if you're not posting content, I post 3 videos a day on my TikTok account, and I post 3 videos on my Instagram account. I'm on multiple channels. I've been doing this for a long time. If you're brand new, I recommend you pick one and then do it until you master it. Because if you don't good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Lyle. If you're not working on it and showing up consistently, learning it is a high income skill you can learn in 2 weeks. But to get really good at anything, you have to do it every day. Professional athletes practice every day, even in the off season. Lyle, what are you saying yes to? I didn't ask a yes or no question. So I don't know what you mean by yes. Good morning, surprise witness. Good morning, something Pike. I can't believe that's what people call you. If you're jumping on, drop me a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. Drop me something in the comments you like to do. Anybody do anything exciting this weekend? And YouTube, I can't. I can only see, excuse me, that there's people on. Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Tony. Drop me a comment. Let me know why you're on social media. If you have a question about something, and I can answer it. If I can, I can give you a resource. If there's something you're trying to figure out, if I've done it, I can do a training or I can explain it to you. If I haven't done it, I don't think it's ethical, but I can probably give you a resource. Good morning, Martina. Good morning, G Pump. What do people call you? That can't be what people call you. Good morning, Martina. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. And not one person this morning anywhere has said where they're coming in from. You got to live somewhere. It could be the U.S., it could be Australia, the United Kingdom, it could be another country. I mean, boy, people love these lives that they can jump on and they don't have to do anything. Yeah, and I've jumped on my share of lives, but being on the other end, doing a live, and I think that's why a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do a live, or they don't want to get on camera. If you're doing videos, you can do faceless marketing or you can use AI. In fact, I got an AI course in June that I've been going through, and the last couple months, that's everything I'm posting, it's AI. I've cut over 5,000 videos across multiple platforms. So I've done tons of videos with me in it. And if you're brand new to video marketing and you've never done it before, your first videos will suck. It's part of the learning process, so did mine. But after you start doing them, you get better and better and you get faster with them. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, TikTok user. There's someone else at your name. I don't think it's in English, so I can't say that. Where are you coming in from? Love to know why you're on social media. I was talking today about being consistent. If you're trying to use social media for whatever reason, if you got a message, a mission, a company you're supporting, you got an online or offline business, or you're trying to figure out how you can make money from home, if you don't show up every day, and that I mean 7 days a week, you'll never get anyone to follow you. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Pamela. People want to know you're going to show up every day. And if you don't show up every day, I mean, they want to know you're going to be there. They'll go find somebody else who does. It's like somebody has a physical business, a shop, and they put up that their hours are Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6 p.m. And then on a Wednesday, they decide they don't want to open the store. And then somebody comes at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, look, because they want to talk to them about something, they want to buy something, they'll go find somebody else. I mean, because it's not like there's whatever you're doing, you're just the one person that's doing it. And nobody can go anyplace else because people want to know you're going to be there. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Naomi. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Haho. What do people call you? Excuse me. Good morning, Caddy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Would love to know why you're on social media. Texas. What part of Texas, Naomi? I have family in Houston and Dallas. My one sister's been living there for it's over 20 years. I mean, they just moved to another house in Houston, but she's been there for a long time. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Abilene. Okay. Thank you, Naomi, for answering. Breast of your something that can't be what people call you. Do you have a theme page of something that you're supporting? Something related to breast. Good morning, D. Will. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you have any questions, I mean, today I was talking about being consistent because if you're trying to use social media, and it doesn't really matter why you're using it, if you don't show up every day, and I mean 7 days a week, you'll never get anybody to follow you. Good morning, Billy Bob. Good morning, Jerry. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. People want to know you're going to show up every day. You may think that no one's watching you. I'm telling you they are. That people want to know you're going to show up. And if they're looking for you and you decide you want to take a couple of days off for a day, and if you wait a couple of days and start again, you're basically starting from zero. And my mentor went live every day for 2 years, and that's brought her to $7 million in less than 3. And the consistency, that's one of the reasons she's been so successful, is because she's consistent. And if you're doing this and you're not being consistent, you'll never get anyone to follow you. And if you're trying to be consistent and you're not, you're gonna have to start digging deeper about why you're doing this, because most people I talk to, they're not consistent. I can go look at their social media account and tell that they're not consistent. Um, Thank you. And what do people call you? Your name says MCLN too. What do people call you? But thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Good morning, Colorado. What do people call you? Good morning, Rita. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you have a question, um, you can drop it in the comments. If there's something you're trying to figure out, you can drop it in the comments. And if it's if it's a training I can do, if it's something I've done, I'd be glad to do a training. I don't think you can teach or train on something that you haven't done. I don't think it's ethical. Good morning, El Colorado. Thank you for the gift badge. I appreciate it. Um, Thank you, Goog Dong, Goody Dong. What do people call you, for the like badge? I appreciate it. Thank you for liking my live. I appreciate it. And if you're on my TikTok or my YouTube channel, if you like the video, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Elcott. Thank you for the fan thing. I appreciate it. The heart. I'm not sure if that's what they. I guess TikTok just calls that a heart. I know they got a bunch of different things you can give. Good morning, Geneva. Thanks for the gift, Colorado, El Colorado. I appreciate it. Good morning, Creaky. Good morning, Richa, or do people call you Rich? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. And today, I mean, you're on social media for a reason, and most people, for whatever reason, you don't want to say why you're on. But if you're trying to use social media for anything, and you're trying to get people to follow you, the topic today, I'm talking about being consistent. If you're not consistent, you'll never get anybody to follow you. And when I say every day, I mean 7 days a week, until you get to the point where you're getting traction, and how long that's going to take anybody. But video marketing is very powerful, and then live streaming is even more powerful. The video marketing, people can see you, they can hear you. The live stream, it's even more interactive, because I'm live right now. I can respond to people live in real time. A video, you're watching it, it's recording, but a lot of people don't want to get on camera. And I didn't either when I got started in this, but I was in foreclosure, so I didn't have a choice. And I had to get over that really quick. Good morning, digital marketing, debt free. Are you debt free? Good morning, Martin. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Look, if you have a question, I'd be glad to drop in the comments. If I can answer it, I will. If there's something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training if I've done it. I don't think it's ethical for me to teach or train on things I haven't done. If I haven't done it, I can probably give you a resource. I had somebody the other day ask me to do one on CPA marketing. I know what that is. I've never done it. I've never made money with it. But I did give him a resource, because I just don't think it's ethical to teach on things you haven't done. Good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Mancho. Good morning, Tapula. I'm screwing that up, I'm sure. Good morning, Robert. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. And today I was talking about being consistent, because if you're trying to use social media to get exposure for something, and it really doesn't matter what it is, if you don't show up every day, and when I say every day, I mean 7 days a week, you'll never get anyone to follow you. And you may think that no one's watching you. I'm telling you, they are. And you may not think that. I used to think that too, but I know now that people are watching you, whether you believe that or not. So if you don't show up and they're looking for you, then they'll go find somebody else who does show up. I mean, that's why I mean 7 days a week. And you can't, if you do one thing and then you decide not to do anything for a couple of days, it's basically like starting over. You're back at one again. And most people struggle with being consistent. And I've met thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people since I've been doing this. Most people aren't consistent. And if you're having trouble being consistent, you need to dig deeper about why you're doing this. Because come do something for 2 weeks and then you stop. And I've seen people actually go out and declare on Facebook, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks, and I'll see you later. I'm not posting. I mean, she's basically going to have to start all over again. That's one of the things about this business, because most of the things I do from my phone. Now, this live stream, yeah, I am on my phone, but I'm also on my MacBook Pro, and I'm live streaming to 2 different places at once. because of software I have. So most of the things, the live stream, if I want to do it like this, I can't just do it from my phone. But most of the things I do, I can do it from my phone. So you basically, I mean, you could be sitting, making use of your time. You could be sitting waiting for something, and you can get some stuff done. Because most of the things that I do from my phone. And everybody at this point, it's safe for me to say everybody has a smartphone. Um, and it's how much smartphones have changed the way we communicate. Um, and a lot of you have, you have the TikTok app or the YouTube app or the Facebook or Instagram app on your phone, that you can access it at any time. I mean, it really is 24/7. So, I mean, it's very easy. And you could, if you just had a phone, and I do know somebody that did this, he just had a phone, he couldn't afford a computer. And when he started, he was just doing everything from his phone. So that is possible. Um, and there's things like with TikTok. I guess I don't know if they let you live stream if you put TikTok on your desktop or MacBook Pro. I'm not sure about that. But if you've got a phone, there's apps for just about everything today. Good morning, MB. Good morning, Alan. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. If anybody has a question, if you drop it in the comments. Today I'm talking about being consistent, because if you're on social media, and most of the people that are jumping on these, or they're on social media for a reason. And it really doesn't matter what the reason is. If you're trying to use social media to build a following, I mean, there's over 5 billion people on social media. There's tons of exposure you can get for free. But if you don't know the correct way to use it, and most people don't, because I could go look at their profile and they don't have their profile set up correctly. Because I use attraction marketing. You can set your profile up, and the stuff that you're putting out, you can attract people to you. You don't have to go chasing people, bugging family or friends. You can just have people come to you, and that's way better. Good morning, Alan Pink. Good morning, Pink. Good morning, Angel. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If anybody has a question, again, I mean, I'm just talking about being consistent. If you're trying to use social media and you're not showing up every day, it'll get really hard for you to get people to follow you. They'll see that you're not showing up every day, and then they'll go find someone else to follow, because there's over 5 billion people on social media. There's plenty of other people, and the being consistent. Most people I talk to, they're not consistent. Good morning, Tracy. For jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Angel, JJ Rock, and Mance. I'm not even going to try that. Sorry. But you don't have a picture on your profile. And that's one thing. If you're trying to use social media to do anything, you definitely want to put a picture. It's better to put your real name, or if you've got a theme page, so people know that you're real. That people, thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. So when people come to your page, they can see a picture of you. They can know what your page is about. Because if you go to somebody's page and they don't have anything, then they're not going to know what you're about, what your page is about. And a lot of people don't do that. And I've seen people that don't put pictures. I've seen somebody, instead of putting their own name on a social media profile, they put their first name, and then the last name they used the company they were promoting. And you never want to do that. People join people, not companies. And she left her account like that for a long time, which was stupid. You don't want to do that. You don't want to name, if you're putting up a Facebook profile, a Facebook business page, if you're promoting something, you really want to brand yourself. And I see people make, there's companies that tons of people are with, they make a page and call it the company's name. Well, the company already has a page. You don't want to do that. You want to brand yourself. And since I've been doing this, I've been involved with 16 companies that are all out of business. Then if the company goes out of business, the name that you made the page isn't, because the company's not around anymore. So you want to brand yourself, and put like your name, your picture. And a lot of people, look at their social media accounts and they're not set up correctly. And on TikTok, I can tell you, until you get 1,000 followers, you can't put a clickable link in your profile. You could write out a website, but people are going to have to go type it in their browser. You can type it out and use it that way, or you could direct people to something else. But until you get to 1,000 followers on TikTok, you can't do that. That's a TikTok rule. And if you live in the United States, we still don't know what's going to happen to TikTok. President Trump signed another 90-day thing on June 19th that expires September 19th. I don't know that he can keep doing that. I'm not sure. Nobody said anything, and there isn't a buyer that's come and revealed themselves saying they want to buy TikTok. And that's been pretty much going on. I mean, TikTok did go dark for 14 hours in January, if any of you remember that. And now there's been 3 90-day things that President Trump has done, and I don't know how long he can keep doing those. And I have a software I want to use. I use it on Instagram. It's in beta, but right now, if you live in the United States, they're not giving anybody access to it because I think all this uncertainty. We don't know if TikTok's going to be around or not. But I'm on multiple platforms, so if TikTok does go away, it's not that big of a deal. But there's billions and billions of Americans on TikTok that I don't think TikTok wants to lose, but they don't have any say in this. This is a whole thing that's coming down from the government. Good morning, Marcy. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Gemini Press. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Funny how nobody comments that and says why they're here. I mean, I just think with these lives, people like to jump on and then they don't have to do anything. They don't have to reveal themselves. And on my YouTube channel, I can see the number that there's people on and the number, but I can't see who it is unless the person comments. So on YouTube, people, if you're trying to hide behind your computer and you're trying to get exposure for something and you want to use social media, you're going to have to come out from hiding behind your computer. And I know when I first started this, I did not want to get on video. I did not want to get on camera. I swore I wouldn't. But at the time I was in foreclosure, so I had to get over that really quick. And your first videos will always suck. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Charlene Starr. What do people call you? Kill him, if I'm saying that correctly. Welcome. If you're jumping on, Osmond, welcome. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. But most people have a whatever about getting on camera. They don't want to do it. I mean, today you can do faceless marketing. You can also use AI. I got an AI course in June. In the last couple months, all the content I've been creating, it's AI. And I've cut over 5,000 videos. It's not because I don't want to get on camera. And obviously this live, you cannot use AI for a live stream unless they're going to come out with something at some point. Good morning, Teddy. Good morning, Traveler D. What do people call you? You can't use it for live streams, but there's a lot of things you can do with it, and it's saving me a ton of time. And the more I learn it, the faster I get, the better I get at it. And AI is not going away. So you could do either one of those things if you don't want to get on camera. But I can tell you the people that are actually getting on camera, showing themselves, if you're trying to build an audience, it'll go faster. Good morning, Just Jay. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for the #1 gifter badge. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, I appreciate that too. But you can't. You can. Faceless marketing works. We've got somebody in our group. I know she's made at least 6 figures doing that. It does work, but it usually takes longer. Because in this world of the internet and social media, and then there's tons of fake accounts on social media, people want to know you're real, and they want to see you, they want to hear you. And I know, and you can make a lot more money if you'll do video, and you can make even more money if you'll do live stream. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to do that." Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Rita. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. It's funny how so many of the people that come on these lives, they don't want to say anything. They don't want to say where they're from. They don't want to say why you're on social media. I'm on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this, actually, it'll be 14 years next month. I found this industry after I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. The job market was horrible. People were getting 1,500 applicants for one job. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure, found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt, and I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. And the day I lost my job, I was debt-free, and there's something to be said for that. If I didn't find this industry in digital marketing, I'd probably be homeless. I've had the sheriff at my door multiple times knocking. It's not fun. But this industry can change your life. And the people that you see making money, it's because they're coachable, they're consistent. What I'm talking about today, they did the work. You can get this down to 2 hours a day, but there is work involved. If you don't do anything, you won't make any money. And I know there's a lot of people, they join things. I see people spend $10,000 or more and they don't do anything. I find that fascinating. Why somebody would invest that kind of money in something and then not use it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But a lot of people that come into this industry, and there is a 95% failure rate. It's because they don't do anything. And most people, they're jumping around. They're all high as a kite at first. And then when they see that they're going to have to do work, yeah, it is work. You have to put work in, but you can get it down to 2 hours a day. It's a high income skills that you can learn and then you can master, because it's the skills you master and nobody can take away from you. I've lost multiple social media accounts and I've been able to get back and get on the same platform or another platform and start an account from zero. In fact, this TikTok account, I lost 10 accounts on TikTok. One, I had over 200,000 followers. After that, I stayed off of TikTok for a year. This account, last June, I started doing another account, posting on it. I'm almost at 100,000 followers. I did the same thing. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked mine, and then Instagram took my other 2 away. Started that account from news posting last June, and both of them, I'm almost at 100,000 followers because I've learned what to do. It's just those skills you master. Nobody ever can take those away from you. And no, I didn't want to start over again. But if starting brand new on a platform, you're going to start from zero. But the program I'm in now, we teach you the correct way to use social media, how to build your email list. And if you're not using social media correctly, you're probably not going to get the results out of it that you want. And there's over 5 billion people on social media every day. You can get tons of exposure and you can get it for free. You don't have to do paid advertising. My mentor has used social media for free and now is at over $7 million in 3 years. And it'll be 3 years actually, like in November or December. But at the end of this year, I believe she'll be past the 7 million because it's August. Today is August 18th. We've still got like 4 months left. Good morning, Tamara, if I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. Good morning, Sam. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you've got a question, drop in the comments. If there's something you're trying to figure out, and I can help you, drop in the comments. I'd be glad to do a training. I did have somebody ask me to do a training on social media marketing. And I can do that if it's something I've done. If it's not something I've done, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach or something you haven't done. So I'd probably give you a resource. If I don't know how to do it or I can't answer your question, I can give you a resource. Good morning, Ivan. Good morning, Ruth. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. would love to know why you're on social media. There's tons. There's over 5 billion people, so you're probably trying to do something. And for whatever reason, most people don't want to say that. Fascinating. Good morning, the Nana for Life. What do people call you? Good morning, Kay. Sam, you keep popping up. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, user 6886. What do people call you? So if you're trying to use social media, and you're trying for whatever reason, really doesn't matter what the reason is. If you're not consistent, and yeah, there's a correct way to use social media. A lot of people don't have their profile set up correctly. But if you don't show up every single day, and I mean 7 days a week, you'll never get anyone to follow you. You may think people aren't watching you. I'm telling you, they are. Good morning, Scotty. Okay, no picture on that. All right. People set up profiles. They don't put their names. They don't put a picture. And I can look at somebody's profile. You can either attract people towards you or you can repel them. And even when I have people that message me or they comment on one of my videos asking for more information, the ones with, the accounts that you don't have your picture. In fact, I had somebody last week that messaged me on TikTok. The guy didn't have his name on his account. He didn't have his picture. And he's saying to me, asking me to do a personalized video, telling him about me and the business so he can feel more comfortable moving on and that he knows that it's not a scam. This is somebody messaging me on an account. He doesn't have his name. He doesn't have his picture. I mean, and he's asking me to give a personalized video so he can feel more comfortable. And it's like that. Well, that's not going to work. I mean, if you're not willing to put yourself out there and put your name and put a picture, and a lot of people don't put real pictures. They don't use real names. I mean, I know that for a fact because I can point some accounts out. But if you're not willing, you yourself, to reveal yourself, you're not going to get anybody. And this guy said he needs something to feel more comfortable. A lot of this, I mean, I know how many times there's no growth in your comfort zone. Every time I've done something that's made me feel uncomfortable, it's moved me forward. And there's a lot of things, and it is true, there's no growth in your comfort zone. And if they're just constantly staying in that and not doing something because it doesn't feel comfortable to you, I mean, in having your own business and being an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. I mean, I think it's harder than working a job, but the one thing I have you'll never get from a job is autonomy. If I need to go do something, I don't need to ask. I can just do it. And I know the one job I had that I lost, you had to fill a form out. If you wanted a day off or you wanted vacation, you had to submit a form and get it approved. And to me, that kind of feels like a prison. And if you're working a job, and I was spending 2 to 3 hours a day commuting at that job in my car, and if there was anything going on, I was on Interstate I-95. And if any of you live in the Northeast and you've driven on I-95, it can be really brutal. And as the week goes on, you get to Thursday or Friday, the traffic's so much worse. And I know towards the end there, before I lost my job, I was falling asleep driving home, fighting to stay awake, which is dangerous. But I was commuting 2 to 3 hours a day. And now my commute is up a flight of steps. It takes me 30 seconds. I do not miss that commute. I had a guy on here, Hank, the other day, that he was telling me he was working 2 jobs. I've done that too in the past, that I've had to work 2 jobs. In fact, I worked 2 jobs and I was going to school. I had a full-time and a part-time job. I know people are working multiple jobs to make ends meet. In this industry can change your life. For the people you see making money, it's because they showed up. They were coachable. They were consistent. They did the work. And yeah, you can get this down to 2 hours a day. But it's work. You have to get the work in. Thank you, 90s. I appreciate the live and the gift badge. Thank you. You liked it more than once. Thank you. Good morning, Dee. You're trying to get your attention. I didn't see your question. Can you drop it in the comments? Because this thing, when people are coming on in the comments, it moves pretty quickly. If you did post it, I didn't see it. If you post it again, I'd be glad to try to answer it for you. And that's it. With TikTok, I can see people, it's showing me people coming on, if they like the video. If people comment, I can see that. On YouTube, I can't. I can just see the number of people that are on. So if YouTube, you have a question, drop in the comments. And D, if you just drop it in the comments again, it should come up. I can see it. I can answer your question. And sometimes on all of these, when we've got all these people coming on, and especially if there's a lot of them, and then people, if they're doing anything like liking the video or anything else, TikTok shows you that. So it might have blocked your comment. I didn't see it, so I apologize. But if you drop it in the comments, I'd be glad to answer it for you if I can. Or if you want to, after this, you can send an email to lindabomba@payyoudaily.com, and I can look at it that way. Good morning, Kenny. Thank you, 90s, for liking the video. Okay, D, the affiliate, I tell you, the video on my page, everything that you need to know to do that's in that video. I tell you where to go and sign up. If they have an application, I'm not sure. If they approve you, they'll send you back an affiliate link, cookie to you. And if anybody comes through your link and buy something, you would earn a commission. Now, I don't do that because they only pay 1 to 5%. So if you want to even make $500, everybody thinks that's so great. And if you think that's great, hey, go for it. But if you want to make even $500 a month, you're going to have to get hundreds of sales to get to $500. Well, D, I said in the video, go to adidas.com, scroll down to the bottom of the website, and there's something there. It says affiliate. You need to click on that, and then whatever they tell you to do to get a link. And I mean, they only pay 1 to 5%. So if you want to make even $500, you're going to have to get hundreds of sales. And if you don't have any following on social media, an email list, or someplace where you have an audience you have influence over, you're probably not going to make any money. I mean, if you don't know how to use social media to get people to that, and I was talking about this earlier on this live, you're sending people to just a page. So you have one chance to talk to them. And when they go off, that's it. You don't, that's why, and I did that in the beginning. I didn't have a mentor. I did that for a year and I didn't make any money. And everybody's so attracted to free. Well, really free is the most expensive choice of all. And they're gone from that page, and you can't keep talking to them. And I get sales on first touch, but most people have to see something multiple times, and they're just coming to your page that once, and that's it. And they're gone. You're not going to be able to talk to them again. And I did that for a year. I was sending traffic to a replicated website. If you don't have a proven system you're sending people to, if you don't have a landing page where you're getting their email address, it's preferable to give something away for free. And Adidas isn't going to give you any training or mentorship. They're just looking for people that they'll give you a link and hope that you can get some sales, because they're going to make a lot more money off that than you will. And I've done network marketing, I've done affiliate marketing, and that's affiliate marketing. I've done high ticket affiliate marketing, and you're sharing the profits. And with Adidas, and 80% of companies, Adidas, Nike, Walmart, Target, Amazon, they all have affiliate programs. On average, they will pay you 1% to 5%. When I was doing high ticket affiliate marketing, if you join an affiliate program, yeah, you got to pay for it. The average is somewhere between 20 and 40%. I'd rather make that. But when I started looking at it, I was doing high ticket affiliate marketing. A guy came through my link, a woman actually. She bought a product that's $25,000. I made 27% of that, which is great. I made $6,200 from one sale. I woke up to that, and it was one day. That's more money than I made in a whole month when I was still working a job. And over 18,000 went to the company. That was all my effort. It's the same amount of effort. And I have some of my own products, which I make 100%. I started really getting into that. So I started doing digital marketing where I make 100%. The money comes direct to me. With any affiliate program, they're going to hold the money. They usually have a minimum, and I don't know what Adidas is a minimum till they pay you out. So if you made $20 and the minimum payout's $100, you're not going to see that till you get to $100. So I don't think 1% to 5% is worth it. If you want to do that, hey, just go to adidas.com, go to the bottom of their website, look for an affiliate thing. If it's not there, contact them and say, I want to sign up to be an affiliate. It's free, but they're not going to give you any training. There's no mentorship. And unless you already know how to use social media, and most of the people I talk to, unless they're people I've met and I've been doing things with that are in this industry, they don't know how to use social media. So the reality of you making any money with that, and if you want to make even $500 a month, you're going to have to get hundreds of sales a month. If you want to make $1,000 or more, you're going to have to get thousands of sales. And I average $900 a sale. If I get 10 sales in a month, that's $9,000. It's a lot easier to get 10 sales than it is to get hundreds. Thank you, Rebecca, for liking it. I appreciate it. Yeah, digital marketing is the best. There's no middleman. Nobody's going to hold your money. It comes directly to you. You create a merchant account, and then you attach your bank account. I use Stripe, and one of the things I love about Stripe is I can withdraw $500 out every single day, and when I withdraw it, it's in my bank account in 15 minutes. So there's no waiting. Now, if I just leave them and let them pay out, it's usually a couple days. But with affiliate network marketing programs, they will hold your money. You're sharing your profits. They usually have a schedule. You should ask them what their schedule is, and they have a minimum that they're going to pay out on. So if you make $20 and the minimum payout's 100, guess what? You're not going to see that money until you get to 100. So, I mean, there are some, but they're very few that let you withdraw when you want. And there's very few that pay more than like 40, 45%. There are a few, but not many. And that's why I like digital marketing. I'm not sharing the profits with anybody. It's the same amount of work. It's work you're doing that somebody else is making money off of your efforts. And that's why, and I would never do Adidas, Nike, Walmart, Target, Amazon, because the percentage they pay you so low. Yeah, and you can sign up for those for free. All you freebie seekers, yeah, and I give away a free PDF outlining the 2-hour blueprint that I'm using. That's free. The program's not. I mean, if anybody wants to go try to go to get the PDF, it's payudaily.com and try it on your own. I spent a whole year. I didn't have a mentor. I bought a website. They sent me a 3-page PDF with how to set up pay-per-click ads. I had no idea what I was doing. And I was sending traffic to a replicated website or a sales page, which you never want to do. I spent $3,000. I didn't make any money. And I knew after a year I had to get around someone that has done what I wanted to do so I could learn from them. And I personally spent over $100,000 to get around different people to learn from them. So if you're trying, if you're going off for the free stuff, and if you do sign up for any of those programs, 80% of companies in the world, they have affiliate programs. They will pay you to promote their products. But they're not, it's 1 to 5% on average. There is one that pays more than that. I'm not aware of it. I know Adidas and then Amazon. And I love Amazon. I buy stuff from Amazon all the time. I have Amazon Prime, but I would never want to be an affiliate for Amazon because they only pay 1 to 5%. And that is my sister-in-law texting me about my niece, Gigi, Gigi's a dog. Gigi's a very cute dog. She's a Roman Legato, which there's only like 500 in the country. She's about 2 or 3 years old now. But my sister-in-law takes her to get her hair done. She had a summer haircut, and maybe she's going to get a fall one now. So good morning, Jen. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, Philip. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you have a question, I'm going to wrap this up. If somebody has a question, I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You can come join me. If you've got questions, bring them. I'm on TikTok, on my YouTube channel. But thanks, everybody, for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow.